Here in East Texas, stories matter. On the Right Team podcast, we bring you the best of it all. Local sports, rich history, and national takes with a hometown perspective, along with faith and inspiration to keep you moving forward. From the classroom to the field, we're about learning, growing, and celebrating the communities we call home. There's something here for everyone. Listen to the Right Team podcast wherever you get your favorite podcasts. The Right Team podcast. East Texas stories told right.
Friday nights are built on teamwork, and so are we at Styles Electric. Just like the best teams in East Texas, success starts with hard work, dedication, and people you can count on. That's why Styles Electric is looking for the next great teammate. Whether you're an experienced electrician or ready to learn the trade, there's a place for you on a team that's powering commercial projects across East Texas. Don't sit on the sidelines. Step into a career with a company that's been getting the job done for over a quarter century. Call 903-235-2536 or visit styleselectric.com. Styles Electric. Reliable, professional, experienced.
Well, welcome back to another episode of From the Press Box on the Right Team podcast. I'm coming to you today, as always, from the beautiful piney woods of East Texas. My name is David Weaver. I'm the host of the Right Team podcast. And it is a big day here from the Press Box here on the podcast as we are kicking off our Texas high school coverage. And I have a very special guest who is a titan, in my opinion, in Texas coaching circles and really across the nation. He's a three-time state champion head football coach, a defending state champion, actually. And his roots, honestly, aren't necessarily in East Texas, but I guess he's got some branches in our area. Let's just say that, Coach. But please welcome DeSoto Eagles. Please welcome to the podcast DeSoto Eagles head coach, none other than Claude Mathis. And, Coach, I can't tell you how happy I am to talk to you again.
Mr. Weaver, the same here, man. It's been a minute, man, and God, boy, I'm so glad that you are on here with me so I can talk to you because I haven't heard from you in a long time. But it's just an honor, man. I'm so glad I'm able to talk to you right now.
Well, me too. And let's just kind of get started here. And again, you and I spent really relatively a small amount of time in terms of your career together there in Marshall for 2 years. But, man, we accomplished quite a bit, I think, in your time there. We're going to talk about that a little bit here today on the podcast, but then I also want to catch up with you and talk about what's going on in DeSoto, obviously, and some of the changes that you guys have experienced really since you won that third state title last December with dropping into a new classification and having to take on those challenges as well. So we're just going to talk some high school football here today with one of the best, and Coach Mathis. So I've gone back and done some research on you, and I don't want to make this all about numbers, but it's impossible to talk to a coach that has accomplished as much as you have in really a short amount of time. You've been coaching for 20 years now. That doesn't seem possible.
Yeah. It's not. It's been a little bit longer than that, but you take out the college part of it too as well. So it's about 20-something years.
So you've been at DeSoto in two different stints. You're actually in your second stint there. You were there for 7 years, the first time, I believe, and then now you're actually entering, I believe, your seventh year now. So 14 total years, or going into your 14 total years at DeSoto. In between your two DeSoto stints, of course, is where you and I met there in Marshall. You had a little bit of a pit stop there as you got back into the high school game after spending a couple of years at SMU. But man, have you been on a roll there now with the Eagles? What's it been like the second time around there in DeSoto for you?
You know what? It's been awesome. I mean, it's just awesome. It really has. It's been great. I've been around some great kids, some great players, some great coaches, and community has been awesome to me. And it was just different this time around. It was really different. I had to learn some other stuff that I brought with me this time around. And, you know, we took it from there, and I was on a deeper mission than I was before. So, like I said before, you said it's different. It was different the second time around.
Well, absolutely. It's different. And, you know, you've got 3 state trophies there in your office, I'm sure, to look at and remind you how different it is. Obviously, you did get it pretty close. We're going to talk about that here in just a second. That first time around, about as close as you can get without actually winning one, right? There for a couple of years. And I know from working with you closely how much that was, how close you did get. And you always had that on your mind about taking on that challenge again and getting back to that spot. I want to start off here, but let's kind of go back to where you and I met, and then we'll talk about DeSoto specifically. So I want to tell this story, and you interject a little bit, because it was the most fascinating, and really it was a highlight really of that I can tell people of a story and how you and I met and how you came to Marshall. So let's just start out with this. So Marshall had a coaching opening, and I can't mention this guy without you realizing who I'm talking about, and Skeet Jernigan and Marshall.
No doubt.
God rest, Skeet now, but rest in peace. But Skeet contacted our superintendent there as I was working in communications, and Dr. Jerry Gibson, and said, "Hey, I think there might be an opportunity for Claude Mathis wanting to get back into high school. You'd been at SMU there for a couple of years with Coach Chad Morris, and so we immediately made contact, and it was just kind of a funny ride because of your success at DeSoto previously, and you were a college coach looking to get back into it, and you learned this about Marshall. It's hard to keep a secret. We didn't want the word getting out that Claude Mathis was back on the market. So we literally did secret meetings with you, like coming to meet you in different places. My gosh, I think we had our second interview in like Sulphur Springs or something.
Yeah, we did.
But anyway, that was just kind of I think we were able to keep a hold on the scoop and get you there, and it was a pretty good time for coming there. But I want you to kind of talk about how that transition was for you, looking to get back into the high school game, and how Marshall came up on your radar, and how that worked from your end, from your perspective.
Well, I was my oldest son, Champ. He was having a difficult time in DeSoto, and it's one of those things where, that's my oldest, that's my son. And so I needed to get out of coaching in order to try to help him and coach, especially when it comes to me being around as his dad. And so I have a coaching so I could coach him, and I was able to coach him as well as my other kids. So that was the only reason why I left college. The only reason why I left college was to coach my kids. And I'm one of the best things I've ever done, because I have no regrets in doing that.
And you did get to coach not only Champ, but your two twins coming back into high school, right? And that is a special time for any dad. I mean, any dad can relate to that, obviously, and really admire you doing that. And just because that's time that you'll never get back, that you were able to spend with your boys.
You know what? I was able to coach them. I was able to coach them all, and Camden, my daughter, was there too as well. And it was fun. It was really fun to coach them all. But, Champ was with me in Marshall, and it was different. It was different. And if I say it was different, he was the only one that was with me. And at the same time, community just grew on me, and it grew on my family, just took care of us, man. It was unbelievable. And like I said before, I love coaching college, but that stint right there, coaching my kids, I don't regret that whatsoever. It was one of the best things I've ever done.
Absolutely. And, while you were there, you had pretty good success over a short amount of time. Again, 2 seasons in Marshall, back-to-back district titles, went undefeated in district play both years, never lost a district game, 16-8 overall. But that final year in 2017, the Mavs went 10-3, a regional semifinalist, a highly controversial loss there in the regional semifinals. But man, you had a few kids on that team I know that appreciate their time under you. A couple of those kids playing in the NFL right now, to be honest. A couple of receivers, Taj Washington and Savion Williams. But you did. And I'm going to say this about you because I was there on the sidelines, and this was, a lot of coaches like to say they would make courageous decisions in the moment, but you made one in that playoff loss where you went for 2 and went for the win. It was the absolute right decision. Didn't work out. Quite honestly, there was a flag should have been thrown, but we won't go down that road.
Yes.
But anyway, you might still be playing with that team had that flag been thrown. But that's kind of how your Marshall. Go ahead.
Yeah, we going into that game right there. We were already prepared to go for two. We had worked on it that week in practice, and we already had talked about it as a staff. And because I always want to be prepared going into a ball game, and sure enough, it came down to that, and we didn't think twice. And it's one of those things where kids were already talked to about the kids, so they already knew what we were going to do, and they didn't think twice. So when it happened, we were very confident that we were going to make it. And honestly, we had the right play call. We just opened the headsets saying it's going to happen, and didn't get the call, but it goes that way. But I still think to this day, and I still say this, we get that win right there with Win State. I really do believe that. That was a great Marshall team we had.
Absolutely. The week before that, you kind of put on your coaching shoes here a little bit as far as a motivator. I recall I believe it was 24-13 against a Nederland team at halftime. They're down there at NRG in Houston.
Oh, God.
You were not happy. You were not happy going into the locker room. And literally there was a completely different ball club that came out of that. And I know a little bit of an inside information on that there was probably some equipment in NRG that we had to pay for. Let's just say that Coach Mathis, Coach Mathis got the Mavs' attention that day.
Yeah,
and I believe it was honestly, I think it ended 50 to nothing or something like that in the second half. I mean, you guys just came out. That was a Claude Mathis inspirational half to watch.
Yeah, it really was. It was funny because my youngest son still talks about that. Him and his best friend, Coach Hatcher, they went flying off the table that day. He knew it was coming. He should have get off the table fast enough. It was fun. It was fun. You think about it, laugh about it now, but I was not a happy camper at half, and I just understand. We just played. We weren't playing to our standard, and we weren't playing with our expectations. And I knew they could play a lot better than that. And I got their attention, and thank God I did, because the second half they came out there and proved it, and they should have, and they did. So very proud of them. Very proud of them.
Well, yeah, it was a fun time, and appreciate the opportunity to get to work with you. Always do when there's quality there, and just for me as a highlight of my career to be able to work with fine people and fine coaches, and you're certainly one of those. Tell us a little bit about when you got back to DeSoto this last time in 2019. Maybe some of the things you had on your plate in terms of what you wanted to do to kind of bring your culture back into the program. There, they had actually won a state championship in your absence there, I believe, in 2016, but there had been some years that went by and a couple of other coaches there in the interim until you went back in 2019. What were some of the challenges that you saw when you got back there that you immediately said, okay, this is some things here and now that I want to do to kind of bring myself back into the program?
The things that I wanted to do is, the more we had to change the culture. It wasn't up to my standards and to what I thought it should be. And that's not saying what the other coach did, because he did a good job, but it was just something that I need to bring and I need to change. And I did a whole new staff down here with me. Pretty much brought all the guys from Marshall with me down here. And once we got here, went through all the stuff that I wanted to accomplish and I had accomplished before. And, it worked out because of the culture that we brought, and our standard is best. And our kids to buy into it. Change the strength and conditioning program, change how we run the practices, change how we run the off season. Just changed everything back to what I wanted, and some of the stuff we did at Marshall, and it paid off.
That first year, you go 9-3, which by a lot of programs, that's a pretty good year. But I know you intend to do a lot more when you do that. In 2020, you improved to 10-2. You go to 11-3 in 2021, and then 2022 was that big year, your fourth year, which a lot of coaches I know like to say that's one cycle, right? That's a cycle of kids coming through the program. Yeah. You go 14-2 and you get that state championship. What were some of the things that you saw that you knew you were headed in the right direction those first 4 years before you got that first state title?
You know what I saw, and it's what changed a lot. The mentality of our kids, they started believing. So our whole weight room process changed. Our whole strength program, it just changed. Our kids start buying in and understanding who I was before, what I've done before, and had to remind them of some of the stuff, the great things that we've done before. I mean, we had been to 2 semifinals before and was beat by Calamari. So they knew the kind of coaching they were finally getting, and I had to explain to them a little bit more. but they just didn't understand the work ethic. They didn't understand what came along with it. And once they bought into that, once they understood that, that was the biggest thing to me was the work ethic. And I hired some good coaches. I mean, I'll tell you, I hired some great coaches. I've hired some great coaches, man. And that has made a big difference because at this level right here, or any level, you got to be able to coach. And my coaches, I'm gonna tell you right now, they make a huge difference. I brought Charles Williams with me. I did. I bought Aaron Babineau when he was here with me. I bought Rodney Chadwick when he was here with me. I mean, those guys, they changed this thing around with me, and they knew what I wanted. So it was easy to hit the ground running. So I had guys that already understood my staff, and understood what I wanted. And then you got a Kerry Sweeney that's already here that knew of me, and of course Beate that been around me before. I just implemented those things in, and we went to work. And when I tell you we went to work, and it made a big ass difference.
Yeah, you did. I mean, when you went to work and you say that, you went 14-2 in 2022, 15-0 in 2023. I mean, that's a 29-2 run there. And you talk about that's about as good as it gets when you talk about folks buying in, right? Over a 2-year stretch.
Yeah, it is. I mean, with, our kids, they feel that we couldn't be beaten. We couldn't be beaten at all. And we believe that. And the physicality of it and the mental toughness of it, it was just driven. When I tell you it was driven. They sacrificed a lot. We sacrificed a lot. But at the end of the day, they were champions. And I know they wanted to be champions on the field and off the field, and they were. And when I tell you we did everything we can get beat, we believe that. We really truly believe that. And we still believe it today.
We talked about here on our podcast some of the challenges that East Texas schools face when they go into a playoff setting against teams from DFW or teams from the metro regions of the state. It's become a really big challenge to beat those teams. And you, of course, have the unique perspective of kind of coaching in both of those areas. What do you think is the biggest challenge that faces those rural schools facing, you know, the bigger places? Is it a mental thing? Is it a mentality thing? Or because the kids all look good and look the same, but sometimes it is a big challenge sometimes when we go and play by district or area rounds against those outside of maybe a Longview or a Carthage, right? I mean, but we see that up and down in all classifications.
I would say the biggest thing to me will have to be the competition. Because you know we play 7-on-7, but up in this area we have a lot more access to teams in this area to play 7-on-7. We have a lot more access to teams to compete with on an everyday basis. And in East Texas, you don't have that. You have to drive all the way up here to get those teams like that sometimes. And we're around, and the reason why is that there's a lot more teams up here. There's not a lot more teams down there in East Texas, and that's the biggest issue, especially when it comes to the quality of players that you're going to play against in and out on Fridays or Thursday night or on a Saturday. So that's the biggest difference that I see. It's just having access to the big competition that you can see every day up here than you can down there. It's just like right now, you look at the bigger schools down there. What do you think? Longview. Everybody thinks of Longview down that way. But you tell me the other teams that think of that like that down there. You don't. So up here, you know, you have the North Crowleys, you have Duncanvilles, you have us, you have Allen, you have, you know, stuff like that you're going to see often, and very often you see them all the time. And I think that's the biggest difference, is just seeing the quality of competition. And there's some great competition in Texas. Yeah. But we just have more of it up here because we have so many more schools up here. And that's the difference.
Right.
There's more schools.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a great point. And obviously, I mean, you don't shy away from those great schools. My gosh, looking at your schedule this year, Coach, I don't know if this was your idea or someone else's idea, but I know you're feeling it when you schedule people like this. Let me just tell y'all who the Eagles are playing this year. This is not to mention their district that they're in now in 5A D1, District 8 5A, which includes, I know, some old rivals for you, the Cedar Hills, the Lancasters, and places like that are now district opponents for you guys. But before you get to that district slate, Coach, first of all, you're going on the road to play none other than St. Thomas Aquinas, traditionally one of the best programs across the nation. And lo and behold, now you got a Texas State champ going over there to play them at their place. Then you come back the next week and you play at Allen, of all places. Can't get away from those guys.
No, you
And then
can't.
you get to Duncanville will be your home opener there on September the 12th. And then you get into your district slate, coach. A lot of coaches say, I want to get a game in just to kind of get my feet wet. Well, I mean, you're not getting your feet wet here. I mean, you're diving into the deep end of the pool every single week.
Yeah, we are. Those 3 games right there, they're tough. They're tough. They're really tough. And just like our district was, the District of Doom was pretty tough too as well. And that's why it was called the District of Doom. Well, this is the district of done district games that is dooms. It's pretty tough. It's really tough. And then you got to travel. And you got to come back. And you got to go. We don't play our first 3 ball games on the road. Down the road. And so this is going to be a big challenge for our kids. It's going to be a big challenge for our programs. It's going to be a big challenge for our coaches to see where we can handle it. But the good thing about all this is it's not a district game. It's not a playoff game. It's a non-district game for us to get better, to see where we're at, and hopefully we'll be healthy going into.
And you'll definitely know where you are in district play by the time it starts. I mean, you'll know exactly what kind
For
of you
sure.
have, correct?
It's correct. And that's why I always play a hard schedule, because I like to know about my team. And I found out a lot about our team. And, it helps me out tremendously when it's evaluating our players too as well as our coaches, and to see where we can get better at. And, we started out last year 0-2. And heck, we end up winning the state championship. So at the end of the day, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But we like to start fast too as well, and still finish strong. And we want to big finish. So hopefully we'll be able to do it again this year. But our non-district schedule is one of the toughest across the nation. Like, this is the state.
Maybe
across the nation.
Arguably, maybe the toughest schedule in the country. At least those first 3.
Could be. Those first 3. Yeah, they really could. Especially your first one is on ESPN too as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're potentially playing, 3 state champions there, potential state champions.
Sure.
So I want to talk to you here briefly. Again, this is Coach Claude Mathis of the DeSoto Eagles joining us here on From the Press Box on the Right Team podcast. I want to talk to you briefly here about the challenge of dropping to 5A. Now, that doesn't sound like, that kind of sounds like a statement that's not, it's contradictory, the challenge of dropping. But you're a defending 6A state champion, dropping a classification into the 5A D1 ranks. Are you the least little bit concerned about complacency in terms of, we're dropping a level, this is going to be an easy ride for us? Or are you like, what is the challenge of facing that now, as you are as arguably one of the best 6A programs now playing in a 5A classification? What are the challenges that go along with that?
Honestly, I think you may like shake your head on this one. Like, I didn't think of that, or probably you may be right. The biggest challenge to us, to me as a head coach, is keeping the outside noise out from our kids in the chatter, and keeping my kids here. That's the biggest challenge to me, because of course you guys lose the 5 us, everybody saying you guys are going to win it. That's not true. That's not true. So the biggest challenge for me going forward right now is make sure that our kids are mentally locked in and focused, and understand that anybody can get beat at any given night. I don't care if it's the 6A level, I don't care if it's the 5A level, 4A level, and down below. You can get beat. So to me, that's my biggest challenge, because I know that the competition that we have in 5A, I know that you can get beat at any given night. I know there's some great teams in 5A, and there's nothing given. Everybody's going to be shooting for us, and we got that target on our back again. So, no, I'm well aware of this. I just got to make sure that the chatter doesn't get into my kids here, and have them prepared every Friday or every Thursday or every Saturday ready for that ballgame.
You got some good kids, obviously, coming back off of that defending state champ team in 6A. You got, of course, the headliner here that everyone talks about is running back Sarod Baker. Burst on the scene last year as a national star. I mean, I believe he's committed to Texas Tech. Am I correct on that?
Correct. You're correct.
But Sarod comes back into this season after a season which he put up 3,000 rushing yards. You don't see folks put together 2 careers worth of 3,000 rushing yards, Coach. And he put it together in one season. And I know you well enough to know, hey, when you got a kid like that, coaching's pretty easy, because all you do is turn around and get the football in his hands, right?
Well, you would like to say that. You would hope to say that, but it's not that easy, because you have some great coaches out there that's going to stack the box and have a great game plan to stop him and make you do some other things in order to beat him. And so that's why I have a great staff, and I know I have a great staff, and we welcome those challenges right there. And that's why we're able to win a lot of ball games because I have a great staff. So we're able to make adjustments and have a great game plans in order to free up Sarad and some other players in order to help us out. And hopefully you have a damn good defense that day and have play well in the special teams. So all three phases you got to play well in as well. So, hopefully that'll happen again this year. But Sarad's a great back. He's a great guy, but I'm a smart coach. I'm handling the ball.
Yeah. Too big. You mentioned defense, and I'm guessing you probably feel pretty good about where you are, at least going into camp with these big kids up front. Kadron Redmond, who is also, I believe, a Texas Tech commit. Aiden Miner. Pretty good to have those two defensive tackles sitting there plugging things up, right?
Right. Our defensive line, our offensive line is our strong point, and especially our defensive line. And like I say that again, they're our strong point, and we know that in this day and era, everybody keeps on saying you gotta stop the play. No, you gotta stop the run. You still gotta stop the run, and I think that if we're able to stop the run, and stop teams from running the ball and make it one dimensional, we have a shot to win ball games, which they're gonna try to make us do the same thing. So having those two guys right there and having a great back end and some good linebacker play this year. Will help us out a lot of defense.
So I know it's summertime. Hopefully you're getting an opportunity to catch your breath a little bit. Have you gotten into football season mode yet, or are you still enjoying a little bit of the summer kind of slow time?
You know what? I wish I could have enjoyed the summer. I haven't had a chance to enjoy it whatsoever. Not yet at all. Been dealing with situations when it comes to our district and how things are going in our district, and that's been honestly 90% of my focus this year. But definitely been in football mode. Have to be in football mode all the time. But hopefully I will be able to enjoy a week off coming up soon this summer if I do that at all.
Coaching school next week?
Yeah, we're speaking at coaching school next week. Me and my going to coach some wide receiver play at the coaching school and going to spend like 2 days down there. Then we got to get out of there. But definitely wants to go to coaching school and going to speak there. And hopefully I can see some old friends and some old buddies. We can chop it up a little bit and have a little fun there too as well.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you again for taking some time out on this Monday morning as we sit here and talk. I can see there as you're driving around DeSoto there, kind of joining us here, but I do appreciate you taking this time. It was kind of a shot in the dark last week. To be honest, I didn't even know if I still had your correct cell number when I texted you last week. I was like, I'm going to get close because I was thinking about who I wanted to have on here to start football coverage, and here we are with Coach Claude Mathis. So I appreciate you getting back to me and getting this lined up.
No, I appreciate you. I had to go switch vehicles with my son. He's got to go work out. So, I still got to be dad as well, man, and get him ready for college. So, but no, man, David, it was so wonderful speaking with you. My time at Marshall was great with you, and I can't thank that community enough. I love some Marshall. It's unbelievable community, unbelievable friends I still have there in Marshall, and just an unbelievable place to live and stay and have a great family. So those guys in Marshall, that school district, they took care of Coach Mathis and welcomed my family, and I never can repay them, but love some Marshall. I love some Marshall.
Well, Marshall loves you too, and we do appreciate the time you were with us. And at least the ones that worked with you closely and kind of knew, we kind of figured if you had the opportunity, you'd go back home again, and that's fine. We all do that. Yeah. You obviously made the right decision because my gosh, you guys you've got the Eagles flying high, and I want you to know that we're all about East Texas, but also we also feel a little bit a part of DeSoto in us a little bit right now. So.
Well, you know what? I appreciate that, and DeSoto is such a great community as well. And I love my community here at DeSoto, and also glad that they're able to welcome me back here, and you guys understood that. And two great communities, I can tell you that. Two great communities they are, and I'm glad to be a part of both of them.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, I want to thank you again for joining me again here on From the Press Box on the Right Team podcast. I want to say this: if you enjoyed our show, be sure to like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and also don't forget to check us out on YouTube, which is at the Right Team Podcast. You can also follow us on Facebook for additional content updates you don't want to miss. Stay tuned, subscribe, and don't miss an episode. We've got something for everyone on our podcast. Thank you for listening and supporting us right here from the heart of the East Texas Piney Woods. And again, I want to thank Coach Claude Mathis for joining us here on this Monday morning and wishing the DeSoto Eagles the best of luck as they go into this next season coming up here. With I know Hope's it's state championship or bust. Now you kind of got that kind of a program, right?
I do.
Yeah, that's great. And so anyway, have a great week, everybody. And until next time, keep writing your story.
From championship athletics to outstanding academics, there's something special happening every day at Elysian Fields ISD. At Elysian Fields, students are challenged to grow, inspired to lead, and supported like family. Whether it's success in the classroom, on the stage, in the band hall, or under the Friday night lights, Jacket Nation is built on tradition, excellence, and community pride. Come see why tradition lives here in EFISD, where students are prepared for success today and tomorrow. Go Jackets!
At Hallsville ISD, excellence is more than a tradition. It's a way of life. From championship athletics to award-winning academics, Hallsville students are succeeding in the classroom, on the stage, and in competition across Texas. With dedicated teachers, supportive families, and a community that believes in its students, Hallsville ISD continues to prepare the next generation for success. Hallsville ISD, where tradition, pride, and excellence come together. Go Bobcats!
At Karnak Independent School District, students are more than just a number. They're part of a family. Serving pre-K through 8th grade near the natural beauty of Caddo Lake, Karnak ISD provides a caring, close-knit environment where every child receives personal attention and encouragement to succeed. From academics to athletics and student activities, our little district is dedicated to helping students grow with confidence and character. Experience a school where community matters and every student belongs. Learn more today at karnakisd.org.
Smackover Norflet School District is more than a school system in the great state of Arkansas. We're a family. From award-winning academics and fine arts programs to championship athletics and hands-on learning opportunities, Buckaroo students are building bright futures every single day. Whether it's celebrating student success, supporting our community, or creating unforgettable memories in the classroom, Smackover Norflet is proud to inspire excellence from preschool to graduation. Join the tradition. Join the Buckaroo family. Smackover Norflet School District. We are one family.
Here in East Texas, every story matters, and Right Team Services is here to help you tell yours. From grant writing for local schools and nonprofits to social media, press releases, and website content for small businesses, we're proud to serve the people and communities right here at home. Clear, professional, effective. If you've got something to say, we'll help you say it right. Right Team Services, serving East Texas one story at a time. For months, you've asked one question. When is the Right Team Daily coming back? The wait is almost over. Beginning Monday, August 31st, your favorite daily podcast returns with the stories that educate, inspire, and remind us why history still matters. Every day, we'll discover the incredible events that shaped our world, celebrate the birthdays of remarkable people, remember those whose legacies continue to impact us today, and close each episode with a biblical word of encouragement to help you face the day ahead. Whether you're driving to work, enjoying your morning coffee, or simply looking for a few minutes of inspiration, the Right Team Daily is your daily source for history, reflection, faith, and inspiration. Mark your calendar for August 31st. Follow the podcast wherever you listen, and get ready to start each morning informed, encouraged, and inspired. The Right Team Daily returns August 31st. Until then, as always, keep writing your story.